Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today we are going to take a look at two new Naked Mini palettes from Urban Decay. I have both of them here. It is a collaboration between Urban Decay and Smiley, and we're going to talk all about it. Did you know that the happy face, you know what we kind of think of as the hippie or kind of rave era happy face, is actually owned by a company. It is a smiley face, and it's owned by a licensing company called Smiley. That's right. It was invented in the 70s in France, and the company that owns it is actually based, my research said, in London, and they kind of license out the Smiley happy face. They do brand collaborations with fashion. They do kind of like projects and experiences, partnerships, things like that. And they really do a lot of stuff with fashion. They've done, I was trying to think of one, there's one earlier that I know of, but basically they license out the kind of hippie happy face, right? Okay, so they are working with Urban Decay, and Smiley says that really their goal, their aim, is to make people happy again. You know, get rid of some of that negativity, and I'm all for that. It's odd to sell happiness, but I do agree that we are all a little bit grouchy these days. So I am trying to be happy in this review, but I am of mixed. So I've already done the swatches, I've done the demo, so I am a horrible actor and I'm trying to just kind of keep it together, but get to the demo with me if you would. Let's talk about these first. They are each $33. They are the mini naked palettes. You guys know how that is if you followed Urban Decay. They are adorable. Here's the outside of one. This is the Mucho Happy, and then we have the Chill Happy, and the outside, the boxes are cute. Everything is really cute. I can never fault Urban Decay on their packaging. Here is the Mucho Happy palette, and it is, I will mention this in the demo, it goes all the way, just like naked palettes do, it kind of progresses in terms of the shade. And let me add to it the Chill Happy palette, which is right here. There's some odd color jumps, but you can't say it's an unhappy palette. I mean, certainly happy shades and happy colors and adorable together, really. So, I mean, really cute little palettes. The color stories are interesting, but I mean, you know, if you divided it up into looks, you've got a bunch of looks. I want you to stay around, though, as we look at the shades. Now, when we swatch, we have to be careful about swatches. Swatches can be deceptive. Now, usually you can swatch shades all you want across your arm and they won't always perform that way on the eye. In fact, usually a swatch that doesn't always perform well on the arm will still look beautiful on the eye. This time it kind of fools us in the other direction a little bit. So let's look at these here first. Here's in studio lighting. We're going to do two different lightings. On the left, we have the Mucho Happy palette, and on the right, the Chill Happy palette. Interesting little color stories, lots of neutral with happy little pops of color. I wanted you to look at those there, but let's step outside into the warm California sunshine. Looks like the rain and the hail and even the snow in California, Los Angeles has, I know it's strange, has gone. So here we are in the warm California sunshine, same order, Mucho Happy on the left, Chill Happy on the right. They're certainly interesting, different, pretty little palettes, happy little palettes, that's their goal. So let's go to the demo and take a look. I would like for you to stay around during the demo because that's where this confused look that you're seeing on my face now, that becomes a bit more readily apparent as the demo continues. So if you could stay with me, I'd appreciate it. Okay, well, let's create some smiles. I guess we'll start with the Mucho Happy palette here. This won't get the benefit of mascara and eyeliner, but that's okay. I just want to kind of play with it a little bit and see what we think of the shades. This shade here in my swatches didn't even show up on me. I'm going to use it. I have some Sonia G brushes out here. I'm going to use it today just really kind of to set the concealer that I just kind of spread over onto my eyes a little bit, but essentially it's not really a shade. For me, if you have a different skin tone, it very well might be for me. I mean, maybe I look a little brighter, but not too much. Same Sky brush from Sonia G. I'm going to go in with this matte shade right here, and they're reflecting a little bit on camera, but they will be up at the top of the screen for you to see the names. Okay, I don't quite think we're happy yet though, are we? Okay, let's see. I am going to take this shade here, the third shade over. We're just kind of proceeding in order. That is, after all, what you would do really with a naked palette, isn't it? They would generally, when they began, if you don't know, they would kind of proceed and the shades would kind of change and turn as they went. So this is kind of a fairly UD naked kind of palette look so far. Okay, so we have these two wilder shades here at the end, and I'll do more looks with these and wear them in other videos. I am not the type of person who will put on too bright colors. And I know in the advertisements for this palette, there's been a lot of really editorial yellow and blue lines drawn and such. I'm not going to do that. I don't like two bright colors together. I just can't kind of stomach it. So we're going to use this very yellow shade and make kind of a gold look here. I could use the blue maybe for a drop shadow, but I really don't choose to. So we're just going to brush that up there and just kind of wear the yellow almost like a gold. Am I making too tame of a look out of this? Perhaps, but I gotta wear it the way I would wear it, right? Another sky brush here, and I'm gonna run this yellow without tapping off the brush all the way under. This does really kind of need the benefit of mascara, and this look isn't getting it, but it does kind of need that. And this yellow is kind of coming off really as gold. It's actually very pretty, and the blue would too. This definitely needs, as you can imagine, with a really dark, heavy mascara and a liner. It's very pretty. Since we are going to take this off right now, let's just throw caution to the wind and kind of cover that up with the blue, believe it or not. I don't like two together, but let's just cover it up with the blue. Having some trouble getting the blue onto, oh, I'm glad I tried this. Having a little bit of trouble getting the blue onto the brush, interestingly enough, and having it appear. Okay, so this is a really, let's switch brushes. This was a happy coincidence. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, I'm having a tremendous amount of trouble with this blue. Not a little bit of trouble, a tremendous amount of trouble. I am, as I hoped, making a green on my eyes. This is not. Okay, I'm digging in, and I'm not getting really a lot of payoff. Okay, I'm going to do something strange, so could you just bear with me here? I have nothing on my forehead other than some foundation. Am I going to get a nice line? No, not really. I'm taking this right off, so a little bit. This blue. The yellow was fine. These shades are fine. I don't like the blue. I stuck it on my forehead here because I'm going to take off, and I just wanted to see if it would give us any sort of payoff. Wow, that was a proof why you really do have to test all the shades. The blue is terrible. I'm sorry. All right, let's try the next palette. Okay, well, I need to clearly chill because I was not happy at the end of that last look. So the Chill Happy is our next attempt here. And let's see how we do. Let's, again, start the same way we started before. Just, you know, as very typical of the Urban Decay Naked palette, starting, you know, with the lightest onwards. So far, so good. And the mattes are performing beautifully as they did in the Mucho Happy palette as well, and here, and I didn't really have trouble with swatches or anything like that I did. But swatches can lie. Swatches can be better than on the eye. Usually swatches are worse than on the eye. Usually things apply to the eye well, even if they don't swatch well. In this case, that last shade in the other palette swatched just fine. I personally wasn't pleased with how it performed. You can tell me if you feel differently below. I'm still working with the second peachy shade, which is indeed very, very pretty. Okay, we have this odd divergence into pink, purple, and red here. We have, let's go ahead and just take this third shade over, which is kind of a nice little shimmer shade, and just add that to the corner. And yes, I'm using the brush I use, so it's kind of a little bit peachy tinged. That's purposeful. I thought that would be pretty, and indeed it is. But I don't know where to take this color story. Let's we'll skip the purple for now, but I know now that I do want to try it. But we'll skip it for the bolder part of the look, and let's go in with this pink shade and see if we can get some nice payoff. Yeah, it's okay. It's not bad. It's not great. It's okay. Let's try this deeper red shade. A little bit better. I'm getting a pretty look, but I am not someone who has to have highly pigmented eyeshadows, and let me tell you, and perhaps I'll remember to say this in the intro, I kind of hope I do, that I actually liked the Cyber and the Robin Eisenberg palettes that were gentle. This shade here and that blue shade in the other palette are not, well, if they're gentle, they're, you know, I don't know what a negative word for gentle would be, but that's what it would be. This is actually a very pretty look, and I prefer this of the two palettes, but let me just take this kind of purpley shade just because I just am curious, and that does have a little bit of payoff. Okay, so this palette here, this shade is, pink shade is very weak, and in this palette here, the blue shade is very, very weak. You can call it subtle if you want to, and I could see, I'm going to take this big fluffy clean brush and just kind of blend that a bit, and I could see getting a really pretty look out of it, experimenting with brushes, using it to kind of go over the whole eye. I think I got a very pretty look out of the Chill Happy palette, actually. I'm not mad at that. I don't think these will be palettes that I will reach for a ton. I mean, I get the idea and the concept. They're very happy. They're very fun. I'm at a loss because I'm kind of a classy lady, and I've always made it a policy. For those of you who are new to the channel, I am a fashion and beauty journalist, and I've always made it a policy not to review in print things that I don't like. I'd rather just sing the praises of things I like. But since going over to this kind of digital format and trying things on camera, I have to be honest with myself. I have to be honest with you guys. I'm not loving these. 1 week shade out of 6, 1 week shade out of 6. Pretty look out of this one. Strange color transitions. I like the whole smiley thing. Feels a little bit oddly corporate. I mean, I didn't know the Happy Face was owned, and that's cool because it's owned by the same company that invented it, so that's cool. Yeah. Tell me how I feel about this. I don't care if you disagree with me. You can take me on in comments. This is a community. I'm fine with that as long as we're all respectful. I am just not loving these. All right, so talk to me about what you guys are thinking down below. I hate to review a Smiley palette and a Happy palette and not like it. I don't like them. And it could just be that I'm upset by this blue shade in here, but I came on with this one really hoping to reverse that, and I found that pink shade just weak on the eye among shades that weren't, I don't know. All right, tell me what you think about it down below. It's what makes us a community. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I sure hope that you did. If you haven't already done so, make sure that you subscribe to my channel so we can continue to grow. Come and say a big hello over on Instagram and on TikTok too. And don't forget that you can support the goings on here by becoming a member for members only lives and such, or by giving super thanks. But in any way that you are here, I am certainly grateful for your time and your support, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Bye-bye. Pretty look out of this one though.